Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Tanner Cappellini.
Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Tanner Cappellini, and welcome back to another installment here of Cappellini Conversations, the show where I like to talk about what I love. First of all, I want to say thank you very much for the support on the first installment here of Cappellini Conversations. I love the feedback you all gave me, and I'm going to use it to make this show better and to have it be the best possible production I can put on. Speaking of production, as we begin today's show in music, I'm going to begin on a somber note, a pretty sad note here. I'm probably going to mispronounce this name, but Lata Mangeshkar, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She was a very famous singer in India, and she passed away at the age of 92. I was looking at the, music news, and this really stood out to me. She was a really big deal in India. She was very big into the Bollywood scene, which for those who don't know, Bollywood is pretty much kind of Hollywood there. They're not only big into movies, but also very much music as well. The president of India spoke about this, and this really kind of stuck out to me because, I think, I have my favorite music artists. You all probably do too, and we kind of like a lot of the same familiar music, but I think that this was kind of like there's a lot of music, and to kind of almost branch out, if you will. She was very great in the music singer category. I mean, she won so many awards, very well respected, and this was just something that stood out because she seemed like a really great person. With music here, I like to recommend a song to listen to, that band that I usually like, but I think it would be nice if we maybe listen to some of her music. So that's kind of my, I guess you could say assignment, is to listen to some of her music or production she's been in. I can't play any here because of copyright, but, very somber note to begin with, but I did want to talk about this and pay my respects. All right, going on to gaming news. There's been a bit here. We got GTA 6 is in development. Yeah, no image, no teaser, but in development is still a pretty big deal for Grand Theft Auto. I applaud the company Rockstar who makes the games. By the way, Rockstar sounds like a Bill and Ted sequel. Rockstar, bro, in space. It just sounds like a new movie. Bill and Ted Rockstar in outer space. But anyways, so many games nowadays come out underdeveloped, underwhelming, a lot of patches to fix, and GTA 5 has been out for such a long time. Now, it did release in 2013, so it's been going on 10 years, maybe a tad, a bit longer that GTA 5 has been out, but the fact that they're making a sixth one is very exciting. And I'm wondering what this one should be about. GTA 5 is, and the whole GTA series is pretty violent games where you go around the city causing chaos, basically, and havoc. And it's usually kind of in a city of the U.S. But what if it was the whole United States? I mean, the whole world or globe? That's a huge undertaking. But I think for a new installment in GTA, you got to really raise the bar because the fifth one, I think, is one of the highest selling games of all time. That could be crazy around the entire globe. It would be insane. So I'm really interested to see where this goes. My guess is it'll come out sometime maybe 2024. I think they're going to really take their time with it. Now I want to talk about another video game series that relates to cars that is somehow more violent and chaotic than GTA, Mario Kart. Now, there's a Nintendo Direct where Nintendo basically shares information, and we got the news that they're making not Mario Kart 9, but no, new courses for Mario Kart 8, 48 new DLC tracks, retro stages, which are pretty neat. Now, as a huge Nintendo fan, I'm a bit underwhelmed because I would like Mario Kart 9. It's been a long time. But the fact that we're getting, some DLC is still pretty exciting. I think it could be really cool, to have some new retro stages, and that is pretty neat. Alrighty, so now we're going to transition here into movies, and there's a new movie coming out next week. It stars Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, and this is an action-adventure movie where they're after a treasure, very similar in style, say, Indiana Jones. Now, I might be saying, Tanner, what is the name of this movie? Well, good thing I have it written down here. So, it is called So yeah, this new movie is The Mummy. Okay, no, my dad misread it. Okay, here we go. It's National Treasure. No, okay. I have been handwriting my bad. Okay, this is Jungle Cruise. Okay, in all seriousness, this new movie is Uncharted, based off the very popular video game series, which I'm excited for, right? I love the video game series. It's fun action, and it's kind of something everyone can get into. It has something that I think everyone can find enjoyment in, right? Whatever it may be. And the fact that there's a movie is pretty cool. Now, people are hesitant that, Tom Holland is playing the main character, Nathan Drake. I get the fact that Tom Holland's in everything, but going back to the whole Indiana Jones comparison, Harrison Ford plays Indiana Jones. He was in Star Wars before this, right? So he was in a big franchise, and he was great. Nathan Drake's a very sarcastic, kind of wide-eyed, funny guy, and that's kind of who I think Tom Holland was as Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, in the Marvel movies. So I think he's actually a really good fit. We saw him grow as Peter Parker. I think he could do the same as Nathan Drake. And I'm just excited for this movie, right? It looks fun. And I feel like every movie now is either an Oscar movie, trying to win 10 Academy Awards, and is about like a movie like, paint drawing on the wall, and the wall's humanity, the paint's like whatever, it's some fancy movie. Or every movie connects with one another, which those two things are not necessarily bad, but it's just nice to kind of have some more just variety, a really fun movie on the big screen. Moving on to sports as we go from maybe the big screen to the TV screen. The 2022 Winter Olympics have started. Pretty exciting. Are you all excited to see politics being discussed? Well, I guess some sports happen in the background. Okay, in all seriousness, this is really exciting. I don't know if it's because I live in a desert, but I love the Winter Olympics more than the Summer Olympics. There's some new fun games, it looks like. I've seen a bit of it, and it's really great. And it's just really kind of awesome when you truly think about it, right? That the fact that the Olympics, this is something that was going on in the days of ancient Greek, like they're still going on today. So many innovations, technology, trends go away. The fact the Olympics are still going here is really fantastic. The world, there's issues going on. I'm not going to pretend like there's not. But the fact that, countries can unite for the Olympics is really cool. It's really great, and that was pretty neat to see. Continuing in sports, the NBA All-Star players are announced who's going to make it. So we got LeBron James in his 18th All-Star appearance. It's just fantastic. The fact that, he's still doing it at this age is really great, so congrats. We also got Joel Embiid making it. As a Philly guy, that makes me super happy. We got Nikola Jokic, a.k.a. the Joker, making it, who's still a better Joker than Jared Leto. And then we got other stars like Trae Young making it. Nice to see some of the NBA greats get recognized. And even though the NBA is a bit different, the game is still fun to watch. And then going on to football here, right? The Super Bowl is this Sunday. We got Rams, Bengals. Very exciting. And we also have the Pro Bowl happen on Sunday. And I'm going to spend as much time on this topic as the NFL puts effort into it. So that being said, comic books. So recent comic book news. For those who don't know, Marvel and DC have always kind of been against each other, right? Very, very popular, thing, Marvel versus DC. Well, a DC artist is making a new, Wonder Woman comic book series, and they're accused of basically kind of stealing a design from the X-Men comics, who's owned by Marvel. And as you can see here, yeah, there's definitely, some similarities to say the least. And, the Marvel DC feud is usually pretty fun. It's usually what character's the best, comparing movies. Who would win, like Batman versus Wolverine. Very fun conversations like that. Also, Batman would win, by the way. It's pretty great. But this is kind of a bit more like, I am not really a person who's into drawing. Here's a photo of my coloring skills at age 20. Like I said, not really for me, but I know a lot of my friends who are into art, and I have a lot of respect for artists. So if this is, by chance, something that, if this was coincidental, that's pretty insane. But if this was on purpose, then I hope it gets resolved, because artists, you spend a lot of time from just someone to go around and steal and copy it is, I don't know, it's just very interesting to see, and I hope things get resolved with that. You know, it's interesting though, you know, if I were DC, I would maybe say try to copy Marvel, you know, success at the box office, you know, try to copy the Marvel style movie. Well, maybe they already did. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it here. Thank you all for watching another installment here of Cappellini Conversations. I'm your host, Tanner Capellini. Take care and have a good one. And this has been Talking About What I Love. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Tanner Cappellini.